Get ready. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Start. Now, certain instances have been mentioned, as for instance, tea. As you know, sir, before independence, the tea industry was practically in the hands of Europeans. You cannot call it a monopoly because a large number of companies were owning the tea gardens. Of course, they were all foreigners, but gradually, in the last 12 years, a large number of tea gardens have changed hands, and now a large number of Indians own tea gardens. Even in the broking firms, a number of Indians have been taken as partners. Since the tea industry was completely in the hands of Europeans before independence, the sales were mostly in the United Kingdom, and naturally the Britishers had an advantage because there the people wanted to buy and they were also the sellers here. But after the national government came into existence, we have been taking all possible steps to see that Indians get a share and a constantly rising share in the business of the country, and the quantum of our share is gradually increasing, and I think now in the tea trade over 80% must be in the hands of Indians. There are some very good tea gardens with them, and as a matter of fact, in the matter of quality, they are in no way inferior to the foreigners. Therefore, so far as the government policy is concerned, I do not think there is anything that can be said against it, but you cannot stop the communist members from accusing the government because that is what they will do, whether it is right or wrong. That is their monopoly, and you cannot prevent them. In fact, the policy of the government in the matter of labor legislation and other measures has been to see that the industrialists and the big businessmen do not exploit the situation and that the labor get a fair deal. Their wages are increased, bonus is given properly. They have a living wage, a fair wage, and so on. As a matter of fact, any legislation that is introduced seeks to increase the amenities of workers, and in spite of this being so, if somebody wants to criticize, well, you cannot prevent them because they do not care for facts nor for truth. This resolution has no meaning because there are no monopolistic concerns and there is no question of any inquiry being held. Certain statements were made about the loss of foreign exchange and profit in the sales of tea. So long as the tea business was the monopoly of the Britishers, I have no doubt that that was happening, but with the vigilance now exercised by the government, they are gradually being stopped, and I do not think that we can make that charge now. I feel therefore that in view of the present attitude of the laws that have been enacted and are being enacted from time to time, there is not the slightest chance of any monopoly being established, not to speak of such a monopoly, even if it exists, taking advantage or exploiting the people and the consumers. Therefore, sir, I oppose this resolution. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, it was very kind of Dr. Singh to have brought forward this resolution, which gives ample opportunity to the government to clarify the various misgivings on this important question. I am glad to see that many friends on both sides have tried to contribute to this debate and have answered most of the points raised in the resolution itself. Sir, if we see the economic history of the world in the last 2 centuries, it is the advent of industrial revolution which really placed in the hands of man such vast powers of construction that were not known to mankind before. The development of science and technology made all the physical, human, and organizational barriers non-existent, making it increasingly possible for an individual or a group of individuals, for a large number of persons, to produce through their own efforts and efforts of others much more than what a normal human being can do. We see today that within a short span of 200 years, man's mind has devised powerhouses, nuclear fuel, and other things where hardly a dozen may control the generation of 2 million of power. That a phenomenal growth, and this has naturally led to what Dr. Singh and many other honorable friends rightly said, a tendency for concentration of power and wealth, both economic and otherwise, into a few hands. Therefore, in the early part of the 19th century, we did see in different countries in the world a growth of a system of society where some big houses and combination of houses started to grow with a large amount of economic power not commensurate either with their number or the social status. In those countries, sir, the economic growth and development was a forerunner of the social growth. We were fortunate that we had a party in this country.